to a special edition of my Filipino adventure, the Director's Edition. Got my director's scarf on here. So if you're a regular follower of the channel, you might have remembered or heard me mention that I made short films in the past. Well, today we're going to talk about my illustrious Hollywood movie career. Actually, it wasn't really Hollywood, it was right here in Detroit, Michigan. But Detroit, for a little bit, was called the Hollywood of the Midwest for a little bit because probably 2008, 2007, 2008, we got a big tax incentive for filmmakers to come to Michigan. And boy, did they come to Michigan. Man, at one time they were making, I think it was, at one time they were making 14 different movies here in Michigan. And it went on for quite a few years until our loser Rick Snyder got elected, and that's the first thing he did was did away with the tax incentive. And it was working too. People were moving here. We were making TV shows and everything. It was doing really well. But it was a tax incentive, and some people didn't like that. So, but anyway, that was my window to do something that I've always wanted to do, and that was to make movies. Ever since I was a kid, I always thought that one day I'd be working films. I don't care what I did. At first, I wanted to do special effects makeup, and then I wanted to do special effects like model building back in the day before CGI. And then, of course, I acted in school, and I almost went to California to go to film school at one point, but, you know, life gets in the way. Next thing you know it, you're married with kids, and your dreams go bye-bye. But then, about 2008, 2009, Hollywood came to town. So I just said, screw it, let's do it. So I went and auditioned, I got an agent, an acting agent. And so I started getting little parts in movies that were coming through. Mostly, I tell you to be honest, I'm making it sound pretty glamorous. It wasn't. I'd say 90% of it was extras, background stuff. Every once in a while I'll be lucky and get a featured background or a character background, and sometimes a line or two, but not often. But I did get some really good auditions for some movies, and it was fun. And it really, I just love being on the sets and meeting, you know, I met a lot of people went through. I'll name drop later. So the very first thing I think I worked on was the remake of Red Dawn. They filmed here in Pontiac, Michigan. They filmed all over Michigan. That I got to meet Chris Helmsworth when he was a skinny guy. And I remember when the movie was wrapping up, one of the people on the film was his weight trainer, his physical trainer. And he told me that he's got 12 weeks to get him bulked up because he's going to play Thor. So this is before he even played Thor. So I think it was his first American movie, was the Red Dawn remake, which was absolutely terrible. All the movies I worked on pretty much were terrible. Then after that, I worked, I'd have to go to IMDb to see all the stuff I worked on. A little film in Ann Arbor called Cedar Rapids with Ed Helms from The Office and John C. Reilly, whose head is this big. I've never met a person with a bigger head. Nice guy, though. The Transformers came through. Real Steel with Hugh Jackman. Got to work on that for a while. I got one prop here. This here is from a movie with Ryan Gosling, George Clooney, Paul Giamatti, Philip Seymour Hoffman, who I got to meet. So these were for George Clooney. I played a reporter in this movie. It's called The Ides of March. George Clooney was running for president, and I was. This was my press pass, and of course I had a lanyard here. And in the film, I wore that. So that was one good movie I was in. If you saw that, it was pretty good. George Clooney actually directed that movie, too. So Ides of March. So anyway, as I was working on these background, I really got the bug. I started meeting people in the industry locally who just made, you know, no budget or super low budget projects. And I fell into a company called, I forgot the name of it at this point, but they were going through a transition, and their creative guy was just too much to handle. So I stepped up, and we started Scallywag Entertainment, and I was lucky enough to meet these guys because I get to be pretty much the creative director. I was the writer and director for a lot of these projects right away. So I could bring my scripts or write new script ideas and we can go out and make them. But we had no money, no money at all. We had to pay for it out of our pockets if we wanted to make a film. So all the movies that we made locally, even though they did get some critical acclaim locally, we won some festivals and things like that, they're not something you'd actually ever pay to see. I never made anything worthy of the big screen, really. That's how people get started. They make your short films and then hopefully get noticed. And we just never got noticed in time. And I never got to do what I always wanted to do, was make a feature film. So if you notice before in my other videos, you always see these in the background. These are some of the awards that we won with our films. We started off doing these things, which I recommend any filmmaker to do. They're called 48-hour film challenges. And we were lucky that we had like the Detroit Windsor International Film Festival here, because we're right on the border of Canada, where Detroit is, so they can hit Canada in 30 minutes. So the Detroit Windsor International Film Festival, so it was 2 countries. That was a good film festival. Then we have the National 48-Hour Film Festival. There's a base in Detroit. We've got the, let me see, the Uptown, the Flint, the Ferndale, the Ann Arbor. There's lots of great film festivals here in Detroit. And I could have branched out and sent our stuff to stuff around the world, but it cost money. So anyway, we started off with these 48-hour film festivals. And what that is you get a team together, you sign up, and then you go to the launch party, which is on a Friday at 7 o'clock. There, they give you a genre of what so it's going to be a comedy, a tearjerker, a foreign film, action, adventure. You spin this wheel, then you get a genre. So every team has different genres, or you might have, multiple teams, but you spin a wheel to see what genre you get. They give you a character. They give you a prop. They give you a line of dialogue. They give you a location that you have to film it. This way you can't pre-film your movie or pre-work out your film. You have to write it. Starting at 7 o'clock Friday, you have to write the story. You have to cast it. You have to film it. You have to edit it. We have to put the soundtrack on there. Everything in 2 days. And it's got to be between like 6 and 8 minutes long. Every festival is different. So the very first one we did, Fall of a Sparrow. We won first place at the Detroit Windsor International Film Festival. We came back the second year and we won first place again for a movie, a foreign film that we picked foreign. And it was all in Serbian. It was called The Paperman. We got second place for a short movie called The Drop. And these are just like all your tags for different different festivals. Side Effects was a feature that was not a 48-hour film challenge. At the Thriller Chiller, I showed that there. The Uptown in Birmingham, the Detroit Windsor, Detroit International Film Festival. So anyway, oh yeah, this is pretty proud of this one. This is my best audience choice for our 48-hour horror film, and I won Best Director for that too. So I am not going to put the films in this video. It would take too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link you, and I'll do this at the very end. I'm going to link you to some different ones. The first thing I'm going to link you to is what's called a director's reel, and it shows little clips of different films that we worked on. I think the whole video is 5 minutes long, and it shows maybe 5 or 6 different movies that we worked on, or projects. Some of the 48 hours, some not. Some we did some commercials for like Mothers Against Drunk Driving. We pitched a TV show that I filmed 2 episodes of called Deadpan, and we did this with no money. So, like I said, these films don't look like Hollywood films. They're more like proof of concept. This is what we could do with limited equipment and a limited budget. Give us money and let us make a feature film, or give us enough money to make a professional. And I still have hopes. One day I want to make a feature. And ever since I've been going to the Philippines, I'm thinking, man, I could really make a feature film in the Philippines because it's so cheap there. You can pay, you can pay workers there $5 a day or whatever the going rate is, and you could really you can make a cheap film there. So I've been actually researching some screenplay ideas, and I've got a stack of screenplays, but they just cost too much money to make. So what else? Oh, so let's pick. Now, not all of them are on uploaded on the internet. So here, let's put the demo reel here. So watch that, and if you like that and you want to watch some more, let's put the drop here. It's a lot of fun. I only won second place only. Second place is pretty good. We won second place with this film. It's a lot of fun. This was a heist film we had to do, and I tried to make it stylized, a little Guy Ritchie, kind of Ocean's 11 a little bit. Remember, we filmed this in 2 days. The Paperman. Let's put the Paperman right here. Paperman was the one we did in Serbian, and we did it in black and white because I picked foreign film, and it got really well received, and we showed it at different film festivals, not just the 48 Hours. We submitted it, so that premiered at different film festivals, which was not bad for a film that took us 2 days to make. And what are we going to put over here? Oh, let's put Mary for your horror fans. This was a lot of fun to make. We only had 2 days to make this. We did have a professional makeup artist, a friend of mine who lives here in Michigan, who worked on The Hobbit. He was in New Zealand for a while. He worked on Real Steel, and he's just a really great guy, Dan Phillips. He did the makeup for this. Of course, he won Best Makeup. And I remember this one. So imagine you only have 48 hours to make a film. We drove 3 hours up north because we were trying to find a perfect scary house to film in. And then we had to turn around and drive 3 hours back. So when you only have 48 hours, that's a big gamble. But it paid off because we won Audience Choice, and I won Best Director for that. So there you go. Click those. That's the demo reel. That's the drop. That's the Paperman here. And over here, we'll put Mary. So watch one of them. Watch all of them. If you like them, come back and tell me what you thought here. But in the meantime, give us a thumbs up. So if you're your first visit here, please subscribe to our channel. And for the people who have subscribed, hit that bell. And that will alert you every time that I have a new video up. And I try to do one at least 4 a week, and on a good week I'll do 7 a week. But I try to keep pretty busy to keep you guys flooded with entertainment. So that's it. Stay classy. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Stay classy and stay classy. And as I say, stay classy.